Tonight as a grandmother. And tonight I want to share with you my personal journey as a grandparent in this continued nightmare of school shootings. I've been saddened and horrified as I've seen tragedy after tragedy play out in our schools. I voted my beliefs to try to elect representatives who would fight to change laws. Indeed, I've sent my thoughts and prayers to victims' families. But recently, though, it's touched me in a much more personal way. My two grandchildren, Graham in 8th grade and Ainsley in 10th grade, go to school in Parkland, Florida, 7.3 miles from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. Their lives have been affected forever by the shootings there. As the active shooter alarm went out at Douglas High, my grandchildren's school was immediately put in a total lockdown. In the following days, Ainsley marched from her school in solidarity to Stoneman Douglas and linked arms with the students there. They felt the pain of their friends who had lost classmates and teachers. They went to vigils. Prior to their sports game, opposing teams linked arms in solidarity and had moments of prayer to remember the athletes who had died. They gathered at City Hall and school board meetings, demanding change. Encouraged by teachers, they wrote letters to their state and federal lawmakers. Ainsley went to Washington, D.C. for the March for Our Lives and gathered there with Stoneman Douglas friends in an experience that she will never forget. The students continued to gather and support each other. The very day after the shootings, a frightened teacher at my grandchildren's school thought she heard a shot, although it was just construction nearby. But the alarm went out, and because an accidental shot also went off by a security officer, SWAT teams, helicopters, police, and rescue units all swarmed her school and searched the school for a shooter as the students huddled in their classrooms, some in closets. I see and hear fear in their voices about how can they be safe. Three things have impacted me greatly. First, the proximity of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas to our grandchildren's school somehow made it so much more real that it could be any school. It could be their school. It could be my grandchildren. I felt crippling fear and pain as I heard it all unfold in texts from my daughter and watched the news on television. Secondly, I've been saddened to see and feel the fear Ainsley and Graham have of going to school. And lastly, I have watched these Parkland teenagers be so strong and articulate, take their sorrow and fear, and with great determination and passion, decide that they would start a movement to get the laws changed. Like many, while always being supportive of causes, I have never outwardly participated in political movements. But I feel now is the time that I must be seen and heard. So many years, so many lost lives, and no change. These incredible high school students have put us all to shame. I want to be right with them, adding the support they need. I want to let our lawmakers know that they should fear losing their constituents' votes more than the support of the NRA. I want to be an active part to elect new senators and congressmen locally, statewide, and at the federal level. And they will pass reasonable gun laws to protect our children. I want to actively encourage discussion and understanding, to work to end bullying, to work to provide funding and solutions for mental health care. It's an overwhelming, slow, and discouraging process. I know the high school students are finding that out. I want them to know that the adults in their lives are in this fight with them and will help them carry on and see this movement through. So here I am tonight. I feel empowered to be here and to see all of you here. I'm here to show my grandchildren that I love them and care about trying to make their world safer for them.